Shalom from Jerusalem. I thought I would do a little mini tour of some of the government buildings. Oh, let's not get run over. Some of the government buildings nearby in Jerusalem. So you should be able to see the Knesset in the background. You'll get a better view later. Just coming up here is the Ministry of Finance building. The Israeli finance minister is Bezalel Smotrich, the leader of the religious Zionism party. That's the Ministry of Finance there. What's going on finance related? I think one of the biggest controversies in, say, the last, I don't know, at least 6 months, maybe longer, is the financing or subsidizing of the Haredi ultra-Orthodox. They want exclusions from completing national service in the army, and they want their Torah study to be subsidized by the government, and there can be disagreements on how much financing and how much they should be allowed to opt out of national service in the army. So that's definitely one of the more complicated issues regarding finance. Obviously, wars need to be financed too, but that's less controversial. You should be able to see some Hebrew lettering in the background. It's the Hebrew for welcome to the Knesset, which is Israeli parliament. So Barakim Abayim LeKnesset. And I think it's close to going into summer recess, the Israeli parliament. But there have been some resignations, partly due to funding exclusions of the ultra-Orthodox Haredi. And, well, there's always lots of disagreements in Knesset. But so far, it doesn't look as if there'll be instant elections, despite these ministers withdrawing from the current coalition. It would just mean it's very difficult to vote through any legislation because the coalition doesn't have enough members to vote through legislation. But if we just walk up a bit further here, we'll be able to get a view of the Knesset building, the government building. So, yeah, it's just coming into view now. So that is the Knesset behind me. And it's facing the National Library of Israel, which is this building here. I did a tour earlier. Some of the interesting snippets from the tour is that this National Library building was inspired by the Western Wall, like the stones in the Western Wall. So in the Western Wall you can put notes or prayers on paper through the cracks of the stones. And so they designed this wall so that there were cracks between the stones like the Western Wall. Another interesting snippet I learned in the tour is that the building was designed in a curve shape. And this was because the designers wanted, I can't remember if it's the designers or Ben Gurion, wanted the Knesset to have a view of Har Herzl, Mount Herzl, where the cemetery of Herzl's graves and other Israeli leaders' graves are, and that's on the mount just behind this National Library. So yeah, that's all pretty cool. So that's the Ministry of Finance, the Knesset, and now I'll walk into the National Library building, which is this one. There might just be a delay while I get my bag checked. One thing to note about the Knesset building is that this was funded by James and Dorothy de Rothschild in the mid-20th century. This was a time when rich people and billionaires funded infrastructure for countries. They don't seem to be doing that anymore in the 21st century. But yeah, Knesset and I think the Supreme Court building, which is further down there, totally funded by James and Dorothy de Rothschild in the mid 20th century. So without them, they wouldn't have been built. Even like I'm walking to the National Library now, you can see that there's a Rothschild connection or Rothschild funding for this National Library building. So I'll walk through into the National Library and just get my bag searched. Okay. Okay. Ta-da. Okay. Ta-da.
שים את התיק ואת הדברים, בוא תעבור אחורה בבקשה.
Okay. 1 second.
Thank you very much.
Ta-da. Okay, so let's continue, just have my bag searched. And so now I'm inside the National Library, and there's a really nice view here of all the books. And it's organized, if you can see, down to the floor. It's organized in a spiral shape, like in a Fibonacci spiral, as if there's like a I don't know, source of knowledge, and then it just cycles out into larger and larger spirals. So it's a really cool design, where all the floors and all the books are in the National Library. So yeah, this is what the National Library looks like opposite Knesset in Jerusalem.